Hey guys, I'm back on today with step 10. Ah, finishing another long day. You know how it is. So, step 10 is continue to take a personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. So, it actually seems pretty self-explanatory, doesn't it? But when I think about it, it's some of the things I think about with the idea of not adding to my list and not adding to negative interactions with others, right? So if I'm aware and I'm present to myself, I can kind of, I guess, stay on the right path. Oh, excuse me. I'm tired today. It's been a long day. I painted, I cleaned, I cut some grass. I had a few things to do. Then I went and visited my kids, and now I'm on my way home. So far today, I don't think I did anything that I need to apologize to anybody for. How great is that? I have to think about it for a minute, but I don't think so. Although I had a moment there at a grocery store that I just said, you know what? I'm not going to wait here. I'm just going to go. I just had to leave. It was one of their rules, and it was just getting stupid, so I had to go. So, when you are thinking about being clear with people or having to not go to the point where you have to make an amends anymore, but continuing to take a personal inventory means you're pretty much conscious of what you're doing every day or every moment, and that you're staying on task. Oh, excuse me. As soon as I sit down, sometimes I just start yawning. I'm tired. And so if I'm very conscious of what I'm saying or how I'm interacting with people, then I'm pretty much being present, which is always my goal. And if I'm not overtired and I'm, as we talked about yesterday, hungry, angry, lonely, tired, I don't have to halt. HALT, hungry, angry, lonely, tired. If I'm none of those things, then I can usually have a pretty good interaction with people and a pretty good day. That's kind of how it works. Because I'm on top of it. You know, I'm aware of what I'm doing. I'm making good choices. I'm doing good self-care. I'm making sure that, I'm eating regularly. I'm making sure that I am drinking plenty of water, which I have water in the car always, and I'm interacting with people in a pleasant manner, so that I don't have to really be too concerned about some of that other stuff, right? And if you continue to take personal inventory, and you don't really have to worry about then having to make too many amends. Oh my God, I'm sorry, I keep yawning. I hope I'm not putting you to sleep. I'm putting myself to sleep here. Anyway, when I'm thinking about the 10th step, and some people do this like at night before they go to bed, they think about their day and how did it go, and did I do what I wanted to do today? Was I the kind of person I wanted to be today? That kind of thing. A lot of people do that as a reflection, kind of at the end of the day. So for me right now, it is getting to be that end of the day. And like I said, I don't think there was anything that I can kind of consciously connect with at this moment that made me where I needed to make any amends or apologize for anything. So that's a good day, right? If you live well every day and are present and are kind to people and that kind of thing. So for me, that's kind of what step 10 is all about. I also think that, when you're doing the 8 and 9, you've made your list and you've maybe started making some amends with people. And like we talked about with 9, you don't want to add more things and more people onto your list in any way. So hopefully, step 10 keeps you on track. And I think when you take a personal inventory of some of the stuff we talked about with those characteristics in step 4, those are just things you want to be aware of. It's not like a characteristic is bad or good. It's just, is it serving you any longer? Because sometimes that's more about whether or not something is a character defect, or it's a negative in your life, or whether it's something that enhances your life and allows you to have better relationships with other people. Because let's face it, the majority of life is about getting along with others, caring about them or loving them, being in the right place with other people. That to me is what most of life is about. Usually it's about the people that you want to be with the most, which might be your family, might be your really close friends, your tribe, as they say. Those are the kinds of things that I want to be aware of, and I want to have good relationships with those people. So for me, that's important. The 10th step then talks about, if you're doing all those things that you've kind of worked towards with these steps, then you don't have to worry about, making apologies to anybody else. You don't have to worry about, oh my God, I got to call them tomorrow and apologize for what I said or what I did. So when you're conscious, you're probably not going to be doing those things. When you're present, you're probably not going to be doing those things. So it really is just being about self-aware. And I think that's a good trait to have. But you know what? There's nobody that's doing anything perfect, as we talked about before. And everything you've ever done, you've already been forgiven for. So don't beat yourself up about it. That's in the past. It doesn't mean go do it again. It doesn't mean keep doing it. If it's something that's not pleasant for other people to be around or witness or be part of, then don't do it. Especially if it causes you your own harm. So I know sometimes I gotta apologize to myself. I've been beating myself up for something, and then I realize, oh my God, I've just been so in my head, just not thinking good things about myself. So sometimes I need to make amends to myself, and that can come out as part of this step 10 inventory. But that's important to know, right? And you don't want to beat up on yourself. You want to do the best you can every day, not only for yourself but for others. And if you are beating up on yourself, you want to be aware of it so you can stop doing that. It's not serving you if you do that. So to me, that's one of the keys around all that, is that you want to do stuff that's going to be making your life better, whether it's emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually. You want to actually work on having a better life each day. And for some reason this morning, and I'm not even sure why, I kept thinking about Groundhog Day. The movie, because that's what somebody was talking about, this COVID stuff and all this stupidity around the rules and what's a rule, what's not a rule. People don't even know. It's almost like every day is the same day again, every single day. And for a lot of people, it is exactly the same day as it was 20, 30, 40, 50 days ago. They're living the same exact day. I know in the beginning people were like, what day is it? What day of the week is it? They didn't even know what day it was anymore because their schedules were so messed up, Those that were going to work, different story. But those that were, staying at home, it was almost like they didn't know what day it was anymore. So I just think about, I don't know why I was thinking about Groundhog Day today. I was like, yeah, every day is like Groundhog Day. But But also, when you think about that, then every day can be amazing, right? Each day that you have on the planet can be amazing if you just stay in the day. If you're not thinking about how long have we been doing this, or when is it going to end, or when is the state going to open up, or when are certain things going to open up. If you don't think about those things, and believe me, I'm not too happy about a lot of the things that are happening, but some of it's not in my power to change it. But that doesn't make me miserable, and it doesn't make me have a bad day. I can still have an amazing day in spite of all those things. So I think that's one of the things that I think about in terms of, being good to myself, that I don't have to make amends to myself. I don't have to apologize for my day. It's a good day, and it's gonna be a good day. And something I learned a long, long time ago was you can start your day over at any time. Did you know that? You can literally start your day over at any time. So it doesn't matter if it's 10 o'clock at night and you're going to bed at 10:30, you can still start your day over then. So for some people, it's important to do that and just say, okay, I'm just going to go with this. I'm going to have a better day for the rest of this day, whatever the rest of the day, that part of the day is. And that's where they have to be, because, hey, Lisa, hey, Rich, hi, Ushi. And I think that's important too, that you can stay in the day, start your day over whenever you need to. If you've had a bad morning or you've had a bad afternoon, just start over, and don't add any more guilt or regrets or feelings of less than to yourself or to your day. And then you can actually have a personal inventory and not have to apologize to anybody for anything. You've already worked through it, so to speak. So for me, that's some of what I think about when I think about this particular step. And it's important stuff, not beating myself up and taking good care of myself and recognizing today, whatever that might be. Like I said, today was a busy day with painting and lawn cutting and cleaning up, and I finished up all the windows finally in that rental unit, and now I'm trying to figure out whether or not I'm going to put a different rug in. I don't even want to think about that, but I might have to do that because they kind of trashed the rug. But but I didn't beat myself up over anything, and today I decided not to decide to make a decision. Sometimes I decide that too, Sometimes it's good to just decide not to decide. No decision is a decision, and it's an okay decision for that moment, so that I don't have to look back at it and do a snap decision that maybe wasn't the right thing. So sometimes I just allow the decisions to happen, and that's a decision too. And other times I actually make the actual decision when I'm ready and when I feel like that's the right decision for me. So I guess for me, the most important thing about this is to continue to take a personal inventory. And when we were wrong, promptly admitted, it really does clear your conscience, right? You want to get rid of the guilt. You want to get rid of the hanging on stuff. If you're still thinking about whatever it was that happened, or whatever it was that said or somebody else said, you just want to get rid of that. It's important to do the steps necessary, whether it's a verbal apology, a text, a phone call, whatever it might be. Take care of business, and then you don't have to add anybody else to your amends list, right? We don't want to add people to making more amends unnecessarily. And there's nothing wrong with an apology as long as the behavior changes. So just saying I'm sorry and then never changing anything is not an apology. That's just wanting to relieve yourself of guilt, I think. So that's one of the things that I think about with that too. Hey, Lise. Hey, Laura. So I think it's really important. So I'll leave you all with that thought, with step 10. And so I know the sun isn't shining right now here in Connecticut, but it is shining somewhere. And I will be back tomorrow with step 11 at some point, and give you my thoughts on that one, because it's one of my favorites, actually. And I really, really like step 11. So off we go into the evening. I hope you have a good evening, and I love you. And I hope you love you too. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Signing off for now with the sun is always shining. Bye-bye.